and glance as it is well. How did you do that?
Here we go. Balls again. This time can't get it across the boundary. They will look for two. And
Oh,
the bowler not collecting there. He was always under pressure. They complete 2 runs.
would have been
He
interesting.
will take this as a good delivery.
Yeah, that's a victory. If we haven't gone for a boundary or a maximum, it's a minor victory.
It's 93 for 4. They're looking to get to the 100. Psychologically, it would be a good total as Taylor comes back with a slow delivery. Outfoxing Bradford there.
See, we're still feeling the effects of it. Swung very, very hard at this one. And but it's not a time for caution. It's a time to throw everything at it.
Final delivery.
Again,
Slow
went
ball.
slow ball and
Deceives. Deceives Bradford into playing too early. And I think this is more of what the captain would have wanted. But you will take 14 runs
oh yes,
as
at this
a
stage.
good end to a bowling spell. Saffron strikers ending their innings after being sent in by the Ginger Generals. They are 94 for 4.
Right, and 94 for 4. The way of course, the Gingers, they did have sort of highs and lows in terms of the batting and the scores they have able to post this tournament so far. They would probably feel confident that they can overhaul 95, but again, you have to go out there and get it. And we've seen them struggle at times to get up to the 90s. Let's hope that it will again come down to a very exciting encounter.
Well, Davis Charles, the most economical bowler, not picking up a wicket. You had Dennis George, he picked up 2. One for Laurie Williams, one for 15 of his 2 overs. And John L. Eugene picking up 1. That's really the 4 wickets right there. So not much to write home about there. It's been a good bowling performance. Yeah, you look at the batting. Bradford there, 35. Javel St. Paul, a quick fire, 24 from 12. Strike rate of just about 200. 35 from 22 for Bradford. And Odney Lewis coming in, facing some 5 deliveries, scoring 12. Really, that's the tail of the tape for the Saffron Strikers.
Yes. It will now be up to the Jeremiah brothers, the Jilks and the Eugenes to come out there and really carry it home for the Ginger Generals. Well, we look forward to that. And of course, we'll be back to bring the reply with the Ginger Generals in search of 95 in 10 overs. And one hopes and expects that it would be a very exciting reply.
So we'll see you shortly as we get back for the chase. Well, welcome back to the last suggest playing field. As we get ready for the Ginger Generals and the chase. They're looking to get 95 for victory. Just in a total just thereabouts. Could be very tricky.
95 in 10 overs is still a good score, depending on how well the chase goes, or how well with a little bit of luck, maybe picking up a wicket or two very early on, you can put the pressure on. But I hope it does make for another very exciting game.
Well, Jeremiah is out there. He's joined by Anil Matthew. This pair would look to set a foundation for the Ginger Generals, or maybe even carry them home. Othniel Lewis will have a lot to say about that. He has the ball in hand. Matthew goes hard.
Little fumble there by Thomas. And completed a sharp single rather easily in the end.
Been very positive so far, the Ginger Generals. Jeremiah again. Down to St. Paul at long on, and they pick up one. So the plan seemed to be getting Jeremiah to hit straight. Bowler man out at wide long on and deep mid wicket. So you want him to hit in generally in that area.
I don't know if Johan is injured, but see, he didn't come out at the top of the innings. In fact, his brother Gerald Jeremiah has come out. And maybe just a tactical ploy.
Yeah, well, certainly will be the ploy. If Gerald can get off here, it leaves very few for Johan if he has to come in. Jeremiah goes mid-wicket. They go for one, thinking about the second. Good return, but he's quick. He's safely home.
Of course, he's a young man. Not just a year ago, he'd have captained the Grenada under 19 team to victory in the Winnow Island tournament. So still a very young man and should be full of energy. Very good mover between the wicket, we know.
This is just beautiful. This is really good, positive cricket. He just played through the line of that one, lifting it over the man there at mid-off and picking up a very easy, beautiful boundary. And so a good start for the Ginger Generals, 11 coming off the first over.
Yes, and that is very much what they would want, and 11 easily accumulated. You know, there was no risk involved really for many of the strokes we've seen so far. And again, just escaping that scourge of losing a wicket in the first over. At least they have combated that. And 11 is probably even more than they need, but at the moment it's going at 11. The rate is 9.3. So long as they stay within that, they should be pretty okay. We saw this morning, of course, the Blasters, they would have been on top in terms of the rate for most of the time until things went a little bit south, and as a result, they couldn't quite finish the job. I think the Ginger Generals will want to ensure that they do finish the job on this occasion.
Well, things didn't just go south. I think they almost fell off the map there, the Bailey Blasters.
Yeah.
Ginger Generals will not want to repeat this. They will want to remain ahead. all the way through. It's crucial points. They need the points.
Neil and Pascal, the experience. Neil and Pascal have had a reasonably good tournament so far. He has shown why he had made it as far up to the West Indies setup. Still have a very good head on his shoulders. And this one just peeling off the outside edge of the bat. And having to go through for a quick single. So Pascal continues to be there or thereabout. Matthews just a little bit uncertain. Just beaten by the first delivery. Pushing a little bit uncertain for the second delivery and getting the outer portion of the bat and going away. So Pascal would feel that he has scored somewhat of a moral victory there.
Yeah, Pascal has been really doing well in the first half of the tournament. He led the way in terms of wicket taking. And he's moved all the way down to 6. And Dennis George, who was down at the bottom, is now ahead with 9 wickets. So Pascal will want to pick up. Certainly would want to pick up maybe 1, 2 here, get himself back to the top. He's very experienced.
Joel Jeremiah getting a delivery just outside the line of off stump and playing it safely, just watching it go through to the wicketkeeper. It's not something we can get the opportunity to see so often.
Yeah, badly lined delivery. It will run away to the boundary. It will be 4 wides.
And not only that, they will have a look to see whether it's also over the hip, over the waist. It looked pretty high.
Yeah, if it is over the waist, the no ball will supersede the wide.
So I think they're having a look. Or maybe they're satisfied. Yes, it is no ball. Yes, I thought it was a bit high. And just getting away from the grabs of Pascal. In fact, we did see him deliver one probably yesterday or the day before, similarly over the waist, and was called no ball. So a chance to capitalize there for Jeremiah. Whoops! And this one is even higher. And another no ball. So Pascal just having some problems, some difficulties there with probably, I don't know if it's the ball maybe a bit slippery.
Yeah, I think he's just looking for the slower ball. Maybe just missing. He has a slower ball that tends to dip on you.
So that means he cannot bowl another one. I don't think he has bowled 2 deliveries over the waist. So if he bowls another one, he will be automatically removed from bowling. So he has to be very careful from here on. 18 without loss. But that's what you like to see. It's something to be mad at yourself about. And one can see Pascal running and really putting in the effort. And having Jeremiah ducking out of the way. But that's what you want to see. You want to see that competitiveness. You want to see when the bowler feel that he's, he has faltered along the way, he has done something wrong, he can come back and really say, the only man I can take it out on is I can't take it out on myself, I got to take it out on you, lad. Ooh, one wide again down the next side. So,
a bit wide, not really the sort of formula that the Saffron need now. Need to be disciplined. They need to really look to pick up wickets. 19, we're only in the second over. Still 2 deliveries to go. So Pascal is under some bit of pressure.
But it still hasn't been a totally bad over in terms of the amount of runs so far. Except the no balls and wides and singles. There haven't been a boundary yet in the over. And a slower ball this time. One can see it much slower into the pitch. And Jeremiah, really by the time he has realized what has happened, the ball has gone past.
Yeah, that's the That's the customer you're dealing with there in Pascal. Tricky customer.
Yes. Wise old head. He would have seen that so many times before. And he would have done that so many times before. It's almost like muscle memory. You don't have to remind yourself about how to do it. It just happens almost naturally. And again, why down the leg side? That's not what we were talking about when we talk about muscle memory and, and not having to think about doing it. It's a little bit naughty when it happens.
Yeah, just struggling a bit. Braffett having quite a bit to do behind the stump. Has been busy with the bat, and now he's even more busy with the glove. Pascal wants to close off the over now with a dot. He's only gone for 5 this over, but it's been 5 really runs that he should not have given away. Here he goes, Terrell on top of it and cutting well. That will race to the boundary. That's a beautiful shot by Jarrell Jeremiah. And Pascal on the off stump. Jeremiah needing no invitation, just cutting down on it. Picking up 4 welcome runs.
And Pascal, really, probably, this one will hurt him most. He was in the middle of a very good over. And that one probably was pace on. And Jeremiah was waiting. And probably the boundary that didn't come early did come at the end of the over. And certainly would have pushed the scoring on. And what probably was would have been a very good over. Just spoiled in the end there. But that's the nature of the game. Jeremiah has gone on to 11. Anil Matthew is on 3 from 4.
Yeah, 24 without loss. I think this is a rare moment for us. We have not had a wicket in over number 1 or over number 2. So the Generals just breaking the trend here. Let's see what happens. It's Lewis with the ball in hand again. Looking for a breakthrough. There he goes. Matthew pulling well, and that's gone. That has beaten the fielder who made a very valiant effort to get around there, St. Paul. But expertly placed by Matthew. He picks himself up 4. And he will be happy to move his score along.
And say if St. Paul couldn't have gotten to it, I don't think there was much on the field that could have gotten around there. Made a valiant attempt, and it beat him to his right, away to the boundary for 4. This time he's off the back foot, and hey, magnificent shot. I just rocked onto the back foot, Anil Matthews, and just picked the gap between backward point and cover, and it went so smoothly, and all the way to the boundary for 4. Lovely shot, lovely cricket shot.
Yeah, I tell you what, the transition of the weight was really nice. The way he got back, his eyes on it, and he was able to really get it past that man there, picking that gap expertly. Lewis under pressure responds well. Not given the sort of room that he gave a while ago. Matthews had to think about where he would hit this one.
So far, good start. We've had back-to-back boundaries so far in the over. And then a dot ball. And this time, he probably just losing form. He gone high. Someone will probably get on it, yes, and takes it. Pascal, instead of running around from the third man area, got underneath it. And probably just a rush of blood there by Matthews after 2 magnificent boundaries. And in the third over, you want to say that he probably has given it away.
Yeah, well, you look at the shot, it was there, but I think what was the problem here is that he was trying to take it from the off stump to the leg side instead of going through the line of it. And this has certainly brought his downfall, Matthew. So really, he would have been more guided to play the ball over the offside than to try to tug it through the leg. And that brings his downfall.
Probably being drowned in honey after hitting 2 magnificent boundaries. This one again was outside the off stump and should have probably looked to hit it through that area. But instead, he chose to do elsewhere. And one can see him almost, I don't know if it's a slow ball, I couldn't quite pick it up. He was virtually turned around lost his shape, lost his form rather badly, and lost his wicket as a consequence.
Yes, it brings out Johan Jeremiah, to join his brother Jeremiah. So the Jeremiah brothers.
Needless to say, they have not a lot of time at the middle together so far in this tournament. It would be nice to just see them, spending some batting time together.
Yes, certainly. If at any point in time you want to have a partner who knows you well, should be your brother. 33 for 1. We're in the third over. Lewis, tight line. But I really can't make use of that one.
These two would have probably done that so often in the backyard.
Well,
and dream of the day when they would have the opportunity to do it. Well, the day has come.
Well, I can tell you, I don't think that they've batted together. They bat against each other. One has to bat and one has to bowl.
Sure, right.
33 for 1 after 3, scoring at just about 11. The Saffron Strikers, they will want to just draw that current run rate back, get it as low as maybe 6 and over, build some pressure, and hope to pick up either the two or maybe one of the two Jeremiah brothers to really have a chance of pulling off a victory here.
They still need 62 from 7 overs, from 42 balls. And there's no... by no means the game is over. We can
quite agree with you there.
So,
lot to play for here.
The Ginger Generals.
Every dot delivery is a tick in terms of the run rate required. So the pressure could build. What is needed now is a clear head from Kem Charles, who has the ball in his hand. He's the captain of the Saffron Strikers. He will want to make an impact here now.
We always say, regardless of the score, you add a wicket or two to it, and it's a totally different scenario.
And there he goes, Jeremiah cutting. Picking up a single, ball just caught there to backward square.
Cutting hard into the ground and probably not quite getting the angle he wanted.
Good start there by Charles, just one. Bit wide there. You can see the effort is to have them hit over the offside. And there goes Jeremiah, hitting not well enough, it's dropped. That was the opportunity that the Saffron Strikers needed to remove one of the Jeremiah brothers, and it's been spilled.
Well, you just mentioned that we wanted the bowlers to hit the ball down in that direction. He got what he wanted. It went down there to who is down there?
That's Pascal down there.
Pascal down there. He took a very good catch earlier, but again, who could blame the elder statesman? Just has to be, and he gone again, and there will be another chance out there. This time he's taken, and well, I guess one can see the elder brother opening the hands and saying, why did you do that? How can you do that? You just gotten a chance. And the young Joel Jeremiah not giving us an opportunity to see the chemistry between himself and his brother. He's gone. His elder brother.
Tell you what, he saw the delivery up there again, not really in control. This would bring a bit of joy to the Saffron Strikers team. Only problem they have now is that it brings another good hard-hitting batter in John L. Eugene to the crease. And if this space stays at the crease for the Ginger Journal, it can be over very quickly.
But of course,
Captain Kim will have a lot to say about that.
Yes, well, if the ship sinks, it's the captain And if it stays afloat, it's still the captain. So it's good to see that he has taken up the responsibility earlier on to come into the attack and keep chipping away. That's what they have to do. They have to keep chipping away. They've taken 2 wickets so far. Add one more to that, and you never know. The nerve starts jangling. You lose another 1 or 2, and all of a sudden the Saffron strikers are in business. Well, you can't say they're not in business still at the moment.
Eugene cuts well. They go for 1. That's all it will be. Again with that miss from Pascal that went over the rope for 6. It just dented the figures of Charles slightly, but he can come back. Jeremiah cuts again. Fielder there at backward point, very busy. They will take that. Once the ball is not going past the ropes and it remains on the infield, you're quite happy as a bowler.
Yes, and Charles may feel, well, can afford at times to give away 6 and probably pick up the wicket the next delivery.
A bit of a naughty shot there by Eugene, just looking to guide it past the man there at short third. But more importantly, the 4th over comes to an end. Run rate just dropping by 0.25. It was 11. It's now 10.75. This is more of what you need. You need to keep drawing it back and increasing the required rate.
And it's the type of asking rate that doesn't force you to probably do more than you need to. You can virtually play normal cricket, maybe pick up 1 boundary in the over, and you will be well on your way to picking up 9 point something runs during the over.
Well, it's going to be Chavel St. Paul with ball in hand. St. Paul will need to bowl a very tight over here.
But Randall, we can't sit here and talk like if he wasn't at some point in our life out there, but we seem at times to forget what it was like when we were there. Yeah, we just couldn't see it from how much meters away. There is a different type of thing, and you don't see what the commentators are seeing, and long after their playing days are over probably, and some of them may be commentators too, they will be seeing it in the same way as we are seeing it, just the way that they were seeing it when we were like them. So that's the thing about it.
Yeah, I quite agree with you. The view from here is very different.
Oh yes.
St. Paul will look to see the back of Jeremiah. That's the view he wants to see now, as the ball beats the fielder there and goes into the boundary. So not the start that St. Paul would have envisioned.
Should have probably just feeling undone by the fielder. Get the feeling that he should have kept that inside.
Yeah, Tyrone Charles there sets high standards for himself.
Yes, but he did
So he will be disappointed.
Yeah, I want to see him kicking the ground. But again, you have to take care of the ball if you got to build pressure.
Again, Jeremiah cutting well. Fielder getting in off the boundary there, and John very quickly.
Yeah. Justin John came off very quickly.
48 for 2.
He wasn't in pack mode at all. Yes, the handbrake were up all the time. I said, driver. I'm not a driver. Probably I'm not qualified to talk about the handbrake being up or the handbrake being down.
His handbrake certainly was down. Got there quickly. Will need to get in quickly also. Does just that. The fielder at short cover there, just getting in before John. So far, St. Paul bowling to his field.
Yeah, you need to do that. Already gone for a boundary. It means that they're pretty up with the rate that they want to be scoring at, so they doesn't have to do anything spectacular.
Yes, they go through for a
And
quick
a
single.
chance for an out, and
And Jeremiah had to put in the dive to be safe.
get a feeling there was a little miscommunication there. Probably he wasn't certainly sure where the ball went, and Eugene calling him through and just decided to go because he was called through. This could be dangerous at times.
Yeah, it could be very dangerous, but all is well that ends well.
Yeah.
They live on and they're ready to match on to that total.
So the 50 has come up.
This one just going through Eugene, beating all ends up.
Almost cut
Good
him in
dot
half.
delivery.
Yes. Which almost cut him in half. Probably a little movement back in. So it's been by and large, apart from the little slip off, which gave 4 in the first delivery, has been a good comeback by St. Paul.
45 from 31. That's the equation. Slower delivery by St. Paul. Backing up his bowling. So, again, another dot delivery. Run rate being pulled 10. So, we've seen these 2 overs have been really good for the Saffron Strikers in reducing the rate.
Indeed.
The required rate goes up to 9. And so, as we say, game on.
It's a real pressure. That means it's a real pressure situation because the game hasn't actually opened up, and you'll probably need a few quick wickets or a few big overs. One probably big over to just open up the game a bit. We haven't seen that so far. We haven't had that so far, and I think in terms of a spectacle, I think that is really good. That's what we all want to see.
Yeah, these totals can be very, very tricky. When they're not 120, they're not, 120, you got to go from early. But just under the 100, it puts you in a balance. You want the balance. That's Jeremiah back on the back foot. Just punching out there to backward square.
Does play very well in that area, Jeremiah. Been quickly able to transfer the weight onto the back foot, open the face of the bat, and glide it down in that area. It's a rather lucrative area for him, prolific area.
Good move there. They've reinforced the offside field. And so they're looking to ask the batters to either take the single that is allowed as he pulls this one through the wide long on region. They go for 1. And that's all they will get. But I like the thinking. You strengthen the offside. Try to make sure that they play to where you want them. They do try to go over the top. You have the fielders at deep mid-wicket and deep backward square.
Jeremiah, he has brought the extra fielder. Of course, back on the onside, just shot again. And there is always an easy single there in that area for you and Jeremiah. But it's been a...
Saffron Strikers will not mind the single.
No, that
really wouldn't hurt them.
But this is just looking like another ding-dong battle.
42 needed from 27 deliveries. Shot, he cuts. Fielder position there for that shot. And yet again, another single.
One can't say that he has gotten away with that. He's bowled exactly for that type of result, knowing that he has the cover there on the square boundary. And short wide outside the off stump. It'll be tempting Jeremiah to just go across it, looking to hit it away on the onside, short outside the off stump again, and he's going back with some bounce there for, and it's a no ball. Wow. Well, a cardinal sin for a spinner. Is that no? No, it wasn't a no ball, I don't think. The umpire did have his arm outstretched. And
again, just a single.
so a really good over.
Pressure being built up. Run rate again. Current run rate just dropping, 9.17. Required now 10. So the 3 overs in this, the middle overs have been really tight. Want to make sure now that they continue that stranglehold. Choices of bowlers will be important.
So Kem Charles has finished. What, 1 for 15 now? The rest of the resources will have to ensure that they continue to keep it tight. And I wonder, well, which direction he may be looking from here on. Of course, St. Paul had one good one. He hasn't come back. So he has gone now to
Yeah, that's Tyrone
Tyrone
Charles.
Yes.
So a good over here from Charles could set up a really interesting finish. I think what Kem Charles has done is to keep Javel St. Paul to bowl at the death. One of his more experienced players will need a big over from Charles just to make sure that the scoring rate doesn't get out of control.
Because it was at that point that the Blasters found themselves wanting a bit. Things started to not go the way they wanted. And it's probably at that point where we can see one way clearly, probably more clearly, as to where the game is actually heading. And would that be the over to actually open up the game to a certain extent? Maybe a wicket or two, or probably a big over, 14, 15 in the over, will just open up the game a bit.
Let's see, it's Charles. Pavilion end. A wide delivery he starts with. Seem to just be asking Jeremiah to go over the top there. Still think if he's going to keep that wide line and length, right, and so the thoughts seem to be flowing. Need to have that fielder out there. So the reinforcement comes on the deep mid-wicket boundary. Or deep cover, rather. Short delivery. Jeremiah does well to get back onto it. You'll feel that he missed out there.
Yes, it was short, and Jeremiah looking to pull it away on the onside. But it was a good delivery by Charles. He did get appreciable bounce, and it was not a very slow delivery. It did seem to rush Jeremiah a bit. And he missed out. You just get the feeling that there's a feeling of expectation in the air, tension in the air. And none of the teams giving an inch, wanting to give an inch.
Yeah, this is good enthralling cricket. Charles, protection is there. He should be able to cut it off. They get 2. Good, well fielded there by John, but can't stop the second.
Justin John, I've had a busy time out there so far. He has been really in the heat of the action, especially with Jeremiah at the far end.
Yeah, has been in the traffic area, we would call that. So he always has to be busy.
59. Asking rate and the scoring rate really is almost neck and neck. Good. Look like a slower ball.
Delivery, more importantly.
Yeah. One can. Yeah, sure you can hear through the microphones the clapping, the encouragement by the various teams out there, urging the players on. A victory for any of the teams, this team will be very welcome.
Yeah. Eugene will be looking to respond here. He will not want to stay silent. He gets this one just on the toe of the bat. Will only pick up 1.
Of course, these matchups are very, very interesting, very, very important. Both teams probably haven't had the type of results in matches previously that they would have expected or hoped for. And as we as we come down to the business end of the tournament, they would want to really pull things back to a certain extent. And a few victories under the belt.
60 for 2. And there goes Jeremiah just punching this one. Yet again, another single. Charles, his first over. 6 runs coming so far. Wants to close off this over with a dot or a single. And once he does that, he will be happy. Eugene, on the other hand, will be looking to get something that he can latch on to just ease the bit of pressure that has been created.
So he just changed the bat, so. Was swinging at that. Again, on pressure. I think it's really the pressure of not being able to score freely to bring up the end of over number 7. Pivotal over in the game so far. And certainly there is some pressure now on the Ginger Generals. The rate is, they're not scoring but just under 9 and over. They're asked to score at 11.33. And certainly that will cause some pressure. We see a long conversation now between Eugene and Jeremiah. Of course, probably, just trying to ease the nerve a wee bit.
Yeah, they will back themselves. They've been playing cricket at the professional level, the West Indies Championship. So they will be accustomed to this type of situation. So they will know how to relax their minds, relax the nerves a bit, back themselves, and look to take it deep.
Are you willing to swear? Are you willing to swear for that?
Yeah, the experience at playing at the higher level under pressure situations. I mean, what better peer to have out there than?
All right. So you're not suggesting that the nerves are not playing tricks on them?
Well, they have to, and they will know how to calm the nerves.
Well, we'll hope they do. And if they don't, it will certainly make for a very, very interesting finish.
Coming up against the veteran in Pascal. He wants to have a better over. Doesn't want to give away anything. We know he has the bag of tricks. He has all the arsenal in his bag.
I also get the feeling that if he has an over where he was not expensive, though he was not very expensive, except the fact that there were one boundary which really hurt his figures a wee bit. So.
Here he is, Pascal. Just going wide Yorker. Dot ball.
So
run rate jumps again. Every dot now will see a spike in the run rate.
Even up here, you're getting a rather funny feeling that something is about to happen, something is about to break.
Something has to break here. Jeremiah wanting to latch on to one. And he gets it. This is the one that he wanted. And Pascal just brought the man up, but you can see Jeremiah moving across the off stump and whipping this one through backward square, picking up 4 runs.
And this is what will ease the tension.
This is what will ease the tension. Backing himself there, Jeremiah. He knows as long as he's there, the possibility of Ginger Generals winning is very high.
And you're not in a so desperate position yet. You can always have that big over in that 9th over. So it's just a question of how much you can leave for the final over. You don't want to have to get too many.
Slow ball.
Good delivery again.
Into the wicket. Jeremiah just going through the shot a bit earlier than needed. 65 for 2.
3 gone so far in the over, and a very good over by Pascal, although there was a boundary. And I think he could live with that every day.
30 needed.
The rate has gone up to 12, so
15 deliveries.
2 runs a ball. Every time you do not score 2 runs a ball.
Again, he goes and finding the gap. The expertly played by Jeremiah. I told you, once he's there, he's going to back himself. What he did really well was he came down the pitch and ensured that he's able to find that gap square. As we look at it there, finding the gap. The fielder is backward square. He got that one forward a square. 4 runs.
Yes, and he's equipped, rather equipped, probably the most equipped batsman of the lot there, or there to do that. He has done it at the higher levels. So one is really expect him to. Pascal again full, and this time just opens the face of the bat, and St. Paul, who is down there, field and throw it in. So at least they're gotten so far, what, 9 in the over. So this delivery coming up is a big one.
Yeah. Pascal will want to close off the over well. Eugene under pressure here now. They've gotten 9, but the run rate is 11. And so they will certainly need something off this final delivery, as the run rate will go up again. And there he goes, Eugene, lifting high. St. Paul getting on there. He's dropped it. He's dropped it.
Well. And a chance for a run out, but he's back. And can you believe it?
Wow, what a time to drop a catch and to drop someone like John L. Eugene. Really didn't get the power needed. St. Paul getting there, and he flows it. It will signal a bad miss there for the Saffron Strikers. Is that the game, Justin?
Well, it could well be. I want to remember, as again, go back today, the captain having a difficult catch that he had to ensure he held on to change the fortunes of the game, and he did. St. Paul on this occasion weren't able to do that. He probably will have a chance with the ball in his hand to make up for it, but it's that over number 9 now. It's really the pivotal over with 12 balls to go, and the Generals still needing 24. So yes, exactly 12 and over. So that's the time now for the big over. If they has to get a big over, that's the over that will really determine that, and that's the one that has to break the match open one way or the other.
Yeah, the tension is here. It's heart racing, heart pounding out there. Both teams want the points. So they're going to fight all the way down for it. Charles runs away from the pavilion end.
Wow.
And Eugene lifts this one. This is going. This is out of here. 6 runs. John L. Eugene, after being dropped by St. Paul, he will look to capitalize.
A real heartbreaking shot there, especially for the Saffron, for St. Paul and the Saffron strikers. He will certainly feel every shot, every time the ball hits the bat of Eugene and goes for runs. That will be haunting him. He'll be haunted by that.
Carry power hit there by Eugene. Let's see how Charles responds.
Shot
he
again
goes.
in the air.
It's high.
This time, Pascal
high.
is on it again.
Caught.
Yes,
it's caught. The wicket has fallen. Eugene goes. So another twist in the tail here. Good comeback delivery by Charles. It means a new batter has to come in. Could spell pressure.
Again, it was short. It was going across him. It was outside the off stump. He couldn't get a wrong and over it. Probably should have gone over the offside. Tried to go down behind square on the offside. But he wanted again to go over the long on mid-wicket area. And not cueing it at all. It went high into the sky. And catch taken. Pascal just struggled a bit underneath it, but ensured that he he's a pretty safe. He has a pretty safe pair of hands. It was very strange that he would have dropped that one down on the boundary, but 9 out of 10 times, and probably stats don't lie. He would take it. He probably would take every other one that comes to him now.
Well, he certainly has to take even the half chance and make it into a chance here now, to give his team a chance.
So
Jilks comes out.
he too can hit the ball many a mile.
I mean, I think the Saffron strikers will be wary that he can hit it a good way and a very long way too.
See, hit it a country mile.
More importantly, required rate 10. This ball is a dot. You will see the rate jump back up to about 12.
I think what the generals will be mindful of, he did go for 6 to the first delivery. So 1 or 2 more boundary will sort of ease the pressure a bit. And they will have to probably hit 1 or 2 more boundaries, maybe 1 maximum, another 4. Will just ensure that the last over, they doesn't have to score too many.
Pressure is on. Charles pick up a single. There, Jilks.
Seem to have some muscle problem there. But it was a good delivery by Charles. Really tucked him up. Couldn't free the arms. Couldn't really. Yeah.
More importantly, there for the Ginger Generals, gets Jeremiah back on strike. So Jeremiah will want to take the responsibility to bring his team home.
He definitely has to be there when the final ball is delivered. You just get a feeling that if he should go at any time he go, that could well mark the game.
Charles to Jeremiah. Shot lifted. Lifted.
Oh,
the man is out
straight
there and he
down
takes
the
a
man,
catch.
he takes the catch.
He takes a catch.
Well,
Could this be the game?
That-
Could this be the end for the Ginger Generals? Very good catch taken there by Ruel Williams. Jeremiah looking to go here. The responsibility was his to see his team home. He will not be there at the end. He has lost his wicket. Again, Charles and Tyrone Charles, that is, and Kemp Charles, working well, setting the field, executing exactly what they want. And so they've gotten another wicket.
And probably, I did think that Jeremiah I wasn't sure what to do in the end. He didn't hit it up, he didn't hit it down, he just hit it flat out towards the fieldsman. And probably in the end, one could have seen him saying probably, oh yes, I should have gone, look to hit it in the air and hit it high over the fieldsman. But there's no time for indecision in this game.
Yeah,
And anytime you fall, you become indecisive, problems. And of course, despite the 6, that could well be the over that breaks the game open for the Saffrons as the rate goes up to 12.75. And it will be very interesting to see who can take the bull by the horn now and win the game for the Ginger Generals. The Saffron General probably will feel that now they're in the driver's seat.
Well, the Ginger Generals fans will be urging their team on. So too will be the Saffron Strikers fans.
And,
This is edge of your seat stuff.
Yeah.
As Charles, 2 deliveries remaining. Bowling to George. George hits this one hard. John O'Day feels well. Return is in. Good return. 1 run. Required rate jumps to 13.71. Just 1 delivery needed to close off. As we see a bit of a drizzle just beginning.
blessings from the Saffron, maybe. Yeah. Say that they are being blessed by the Almighty.
Saffron and Ginger of the same family.
But once again, I see gala finish.
Charles to Jilks. Jilks goes hard. Will get 1.
Why
Slight
didn't go back
misfield.
for the 2? They had to go back. I don't understand. They had to go back for the second there.
I think they are weary of the arm of Johnny. He has shown that he has a pretty powerful arm. What he did well, John, was to get the ball in front of him so he can swoop at it again and make that throw.
Well, 15 is
Final
a
over.
mountain to climb. Would be a mountain to climb for the Ginger Generals.
Tension in the Lasages playing field. The place seemed to be a bit quiet. Final over will be bowled by Javel St. Paul.
We did see it being defended in the previous game. This time it's a little bit more difficult as the groundsman just goes in around the covers. I think whatever happened, the Saffron should be well ahead in terms of the Duckworth Lewis Pasco. With 15 to go, I think, yes, they should be ahead of the Duckworth Lewis Pasco. And
let's see how they go. St. Paul from the road end. Getting into Jilks. Jilks goes high.
a chance
It's
out there.
lifted. And it's dropped. And more importantly, they go for one. They scamper for a second. The ball being dropped there.
By
And that
wasn't
seems
Lewis
to
or
be
Pascal
Lewis.
again. Lewis, it seems.
Lewis dropping a crucial one there. Does yield 2 runs. So it's 30 needed from 5.
Pascal, in fact, Lewis, yes, getting there before, never even getting the hand on it at all. It almost hit him in the stomach and went to ground.
Here goes St. Paul again. To Jilks. Jilks swings.
Misses.
Doesn't make contact.
Well, they believe that the celebration has started for the Saffron
82
Strikers.
for 4. 30 needed. 4 deliveries. Wants to make sure that he gets this rate into a mathematically impossible one.
Which it virtually is already. Wide.
Why there?
With a couple more wide and probably a maximum or 2, we can have some more heart-wrenching moments before this game is wrapped up.
12 from 4. St. Paul with ball in hand runs away. Here he is. Jilks goes. He
And
goes.
goes
He
long.
gets it well, and that's gone. That is gone. That's out of here. That's 6 runs. A carry power hit. What a time to hit a carry power hit. The pressure was on. They needed that boundary, and they've just gotten it.
Well, not only the boundary, but the maximum. They probably need 1 or 2 more. And
This was a big moment in this game.
remember, there was a no ball, and immediately following the no ball, the maximum came.
6 needed. Here he goes. Hits.
This
Hits
time caught
well, but straight to the
into the
fielder.
midriff.
And the wicket is taken. So Jilks goes. Another twist in the tail here. Another twist in the tail. Catch taken there. Lewis making up for the earlier drop. And the Ginger Generals they're just 2 hits away. Or maybe 1 hit rather. So loads of pressure out there. What's your prediction, Justin?
I think it's over. I have the feeling that it's over, except Charles can muscle a couple of them over the boundary. I would think that St. Paul will have far different ideas as to what can happen. But again, cricket is that type of game where anything can happen as long as there is time.
Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Maybe a no ball here, a wide here, a 2 wides here, and a maximum. And we're back there again. But at the moment, the Saffron Strikers are probably, as they would say in Formula One, just 1 more corner to go. before
St. Paul.
they head for the
There
flag.
goes Charles.
And that's all it wrote.
They pick up one. And so
18 required.
5 required from one
ball.
delivery.
Oh yeah, 5 required from one delivery. Well, can he hit a 4 or can he hit a 6?
Let's see how it goes. Dennis George does pack a punch. St. Paul will need to be spot on here.
No wides, no ball.
Can tell you anything offline, off length, and once George can get onto it, you can expect he will send it over the ropes.
So what will St. Paul do now? Will he go pace on or will he take pace off?
Let's see what the field look like. The man at cover, deep cover, going back. He has a man at backward square. Third man is up in the circle.
So
Reinforcing the offside field, so it means that he will
full and wide.
go full and wide, maybe wide Yorker.
So what is Dennis George now thinking? Should I go across the off stop early and to access the onside, which is behind square?
Could be
have an
dangerous.
opportunity.
The third man is up.
there is
Could be
St. Paul.
dangerous. And there he goes, lifting. And the ball stays in the field. They scamper one. They're coming for the
And
second.
they run out.
And the Saffron Strikers, they have struck a victory in this match. They've really worked hard to keep the Ginger Generals on the 95 runs, and they have done so successfully.
Yes, they have done so. Congratulations to them. It was a hard-fought victory. They've had some matches in the past where they have lost games. Probably they feel they had chances to win. Today they managed to put it all together. And as we did say, for some of the teams, they have played, put on improved performances as the competition went on. And a victory for them. And I guess they will be very happy. But we're still disappointed that they haven't done overall as well as they feel they could have. And the Ginger Generals, unfortunately, again going down. And you two, Rondell has to go down to do the presentations. And as the fielders takes the exit, goes out. Charles coming in couldn't produce what was needed in the end. George too just didn't have the firepower to pull it through. And the handshakes, of course, 2 good overs by St. Paul. He'll be happy with that. And of course, all in all, it has been a good game. It did come down to the wire again. So 2 very exciting games we've had during the course of the week. As I say, all the handshakes and everything that goes with it. Of course, the Saffron Warriors, the happier team at the moment. And the Ginger Generals has to ponder on probably what could have been as they leave the field, as the drizzle just become a little bit heavier. And just probably were just waiting to coronate the Saffron Warriors. Of course, there are smiles on some of the faces that we didn't see at some points. But all in all, it has been a very good game. And one looks forward to what the remainder of the tournament will bring. So the rain seemed to have subsided. And the covers have just been left. So the Saffron Strikers 94 for 4 in 10 overs. Bradford 35 in 22. Dennis George 2 for 19. Jewel St. Paul's 24 in 12. Laurie Williams 1 for 15. And Jonel Eugene 1 for 21. Lewis had 12 and 5. And the Junior Strikers took to reply. They end up 91 for 6 after their 10, meaning that they lost by 3 runs. The Strikers won by 3 runs. Johan Jeremiah, 23 from 18, probably just wasn't enough. Gerald Jeremiah 17 from 13, and 14 from 14 for Eugene. 2 for 15 for Tyrone Charles. Otnell Lewis 1 for 20, and Kem Charles 1 for 15. He had a pretty good spell, and that was all it wrote for the team. As the covers come onto the ground, we have the drizzle back with us, and very soon I'm sure Rondell will be ready for us with the match presentations and prizes. And as soon as that is on its way, we will go down to Rondell. So we sincerely hope that we've had as good a day as we've had bringing the action to you. Once again, we've been blessed by the weather. So, for the confirmation of the result, the Saffron Strikers, they would have won by 3 runs. And very shortly, Rondell will be ready for us. And of course, he has the captain of the Ginger Generals, Johan Jeremiah, with him.
All right, so thank you very much there, Hector. I have with me Johan Jeremiah. Johan, a game that you really wanted to win just to cement your place really didn't work out the way you wanted it. Tell us about that game.
Yeah, I think we didn't stick to the plan while we was bowling. I think we had too much loose deliveries. But nevertheless, still have to give the guys credit for, still trying with the bat.
All right, at the halfway stage, you certainly was in a good position. The pressure seemed to have built up. And just tell us the mindset, or what was it like being there and having to respond to that pressure?
I won't say really pressure, I would just say being match away. I think our players, some of us wasn't match away, because some things was unnecessary from my point of view. But nevertheless, it's a learning phase. It's a young group of guys, so it's just for us to regroup and try to see if we could qualify still.
All right, well, we want to wish you best of luck as you try to get that qualification and as you continue in the tournament.
Thanks.
All right, so that was Javel St. Paul. I want to invite Kem Charles, the captain of the Saffron Strikers, to come, and he will have a short word with us. All right, so we're gonna just move along. We're going to move along. We're going to get straight into the presentations. And to present, we're going to present first and foremost the impact bowler. And that is none other than Tyrone Charles. And Leroy is going to present Tyrone. You're in a game that you really want to win. You have the ball in hand. You have to ensure that you keep the scoring rate as low as possible. Just bring us through that 2 overs that you had to bowl.
First of all, well done to my team. Well done to me. It was nerve-wracking, but at the end, I hold my nerves. Remember the basics and execute.
All right. You had your first over. 1 or 2 balls, not really where you wanted it, but you were able to just hit that spot. Knowing the pressure, what did the captain say to you that you needed to do?
He was just a constant reminder of remembering the basics, sticking to the plan, and executing.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tyrone. Well done, and good luck as you progress. We're going to move straight ahead into the power hitter, the Carib power hitter, and we want to invite Sheehan Braffett to come. Oh, that was Javel St. Paul, sorry. So it's Javel St. Paul, your power hitter for this match. All right, Javel, a much needed quick fire innings from you really to get your team as close to the 100. Tell us about the feeling going out there, the time that you did.
Yeah, as a power hitter, it's always a difficult ask, but it's nothing hard for me to do, But I think for the past few games, I haven't been doing the job well. But today, I think I got an opportunity and I took it.
All right, well, very well done to you. I want you to just take a moment and speak to the Saffron fans because I know they've been concerned.
Yes, they have. I just want to say it's kind of hard, coming from below to be at the top. But I just want to say keep encouraging us, and more than likely tomorrow again in our last match in the preliminary rounds, we will make you happy again.
All right, so there you heard the Saffron fans from Javel St. Paul. And we are now going to present the man of the match. And that is Shean Braffett. Shean, well played. Well, Shean, your knock in the middle was really crucial in terms of giving your team a score that, is defendable. Tell us about your innings.
Yeah, I knew that I had to take it as deep as possible. And once one of the senior batsmen, or the top three, stayed to the end, I knew we would have got a score over 90.
All right, you were really chasing 100. You didn't get that 100. You got 95. Coming out from the dressing room, what was the mood like among the guys?
Well, the guys seem a little down, but I know once a partnership started to form with St. Paul and I, once it formed, I know we built a little momentum. And coming to the last 2 overs, we really gave the team a good score.
All right. You are there. You're the keeper. Pressurizing situation. You have to defend 95. You've seen how the Ginger Generals batting lineup is strong. What was your thoughts?
Well, as you can see, once you bowl the ball into the pitch, it is holding a bit. So my thing for the bowlers was just to keep consistent hitting the ball in the pitch and let the ball go to the fielders in the deep.
All right, so that was the plan. They stuck to the plan. They did well. Shean, speak to your Saffron strikers. Tell them what they can expect from you because you are at the business end here now.
Hopefully, fans, you all will see us in the playoffs. Not hopefully, you will. You will see us in the playoffs.
All right, so you can take that to the bank. We are here. We are ended another day of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. We'll see you tomorrow. We have more action for you as the teams seek their qualification into the playoffs. So until tomorrow, we see you then.
Everybody charge up. West Indies going high.